So you want to start running, but you don't know where to start. Got you. All right, so tip number one, first thing that you want to do is you want to get you a good pair of running shoes. You just need an everyday trainer at this point, right? So personally, I would recommend the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V4s, Fleet Feet, right? Any sporting goods store near you, I would get with somebody in there who's knowledgeable on running shoes, and I would ask them, what would they recommend? Can I try on different options? But that's the first step. The second thing that you need, if you want to get into running, you need structure, right? So if you haven't before, start hydrating. At least 64 ounces of water every day. And you need some type of mixture. I would say a liquid IV or something similar to make sure that you're getting those electrolytes in. At least 7-8 hours of sleep every single night. You need to make sure that you're getting that on a routine basis. Your gains happen while you're sleeping. You haven't cut out all the processed sugars, all the sweets, the donuts, the cookies, the cakes. You can't do it. It's not conducive to you becoming, as fit as you want to be. Certain things you're just going to have to go without and sacrifice. Your hydration, your sleep, recovery is the third big one, right? So you need to set aside time to take care of your body, right? So every single night you should be stretching for at least 15 minutes, right? And also I will foam roll before if you have access to one. It'll do a great job of breaking up the lactic acid that builds up through heavy training to make sure that, you're always fresh for your next session, right? So that's the second thing. And the third thing that I would recommend to any beginner is to just trust the process. So personally, when I was beginning, I didn't run for mileage. I didn't run for speed. I didn't care about how fast I was going or how long I was going, and you shouldn't either, honestly. The main thing that you need to worry about at this stage is building a consistent habit, right? Falling in love with the grind, right? Falling in love with the process, right? So what that looks like, I would say every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or either Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 3 days a week, but definitely a day in between to give yourself that time to recover, right? You need to run. And what I would personally do is I would set my timer. Every single time I would hit the track, I would go to the neighborhood or wherever else you feel comfortable running. I would set my timer for about 30 minutes and I would just run, right? If you're at the stage where you can't run a mile without stopping, you have a whole lot more that you have to do to build yourself up to that point. And I would say don't even worry about, just running 30 minutes straight. What I would do is I would run it for as long as I personally can. Even if that's for like 5 minutes, and walk for 1 minute and alternate, however you need to do it. The main thing is that you need to push yourself and be honest with yourself, right? So if you need to walk and you need to alternate between walking and running, that's cool. But, as long as you aren't going out there and, running for like 3 minutes and then walking for like 10 minutes, giving your body that positive stimulus to adapt to and grow through, right? So consistency is one of the biggest things with running and just improving in general. 3 days a week, 30 minutes, walk if you need to, alternate, but stay consistent. And as long as you do that, and your hydration is on point, your diet is on point, your sleep is on point, your recovery is on point, week by week you will see improvements, right? And then at a certain point, once you're able to run for 30 minutes straight 3 times a week and you're not sore anymore and you're not as fatigued as you were, then that's how you know that you've built up a solid enough aerobic base